You are important and you have value. I know some people who are watching this right now may have had thoughts of ending their own life to get rid of the pain, to get rid of all the depression, to get rid of the anxiety, to get rid of the imposter syndrome, to get rid of feeling like you're not good enough. But I'm here to let you know that you belong here. We need you. And the purpose that you have inside is literally a solution to someone in need. See, we hopping right into it this episode, my friends, because this is an urgent message. This is an urgent message. SOS. I know we hear SOS, right? And it's success over suicide, but this is literally mayday, emergency, needed type of conversation. Yesterday, I found out that someone died by suicide. And I'm not going to mention their name because I understand what it's like as far as having a family member and you hearing people bring it up and this and that. So in respect to the family, I'm not going to bring up the person's name right now. But my friends, that just seeing that suicide won again. Suicide won again. It gets up under my skin. I take it very personal. Just knowing that somebody does not want to be here anymore. Just knowing that somebody thinks it's better that they're not here. Somebody thinks people are better off if they're not around. See, for me, my friends, the reason why I even started Success Over Suicide, for any of you who don't know my backstory, take a walk down memory lane with me. I'm literally, let's see, it's 2013, the year 2013. We are in 2022 right now, so it's about to be 10 years. So it's been 9 years ago. So 9 years ago, I was 20 years old, and my whole life turned upside down. Everything that I knew wasn't, everything that was just wasn't real. I remember being a freshman in college and getting a phone call telling me to hurry home. It's from my mom. And I'm like, Mom, why are you telling me to come home? Talk to me right now. You could just, it's Friday night. Can we just talk? Can we talk on the phone? Because for me, I didn't go out of town for college. I stayed in town. So I was only about 25 minutes away. 25 minutes, that's it. So she's like, get home ASAP. We need to talk. I get home and I can tell that she's crying profusely. She's shaking, her knees are shaking. She opens the door. As soon as she opens the door, I walk her over to the table. I'm like, can you tell me what's going on right now? Are you able to talk to me right now to let me know what's happening? Finally, she looks me in my face and tells me that the aunt that has been with me since I was born, my friends, since I was born, that she took her own life. Even now, telling that story, I'm getting goosebumps. Even now, it's been 10 years. So that goes to show you that if you've been thinking about suicide or you know anybody that has died by suicide, first of all, my heart goes out to you. My condolences, my grace. Can all the mercy surround you? Because I know it by the date, the year. I know the year my life changed. I know the year where I realized thinking everything is okay maybe isn't okay. You know, maybe we gotta check on the people who we think we shouldn't check on. We gotta check on our strong friends. And then most importantly, we gotta check on ourselves. Check in on our heart, check in on our head. Because to me, my friends, there is something out there. There is a wave of darkness that is surrounding all of us. And I'm here to let you know that suicide is not exempt from anybody. Suicide impacts us all. I was literally telling my friend the other day, I'm like, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to any of us? If after a while it just seems like people are just like, you know what? No, no more. And I don't want that to continue. I want suicide to end. I don't want suicide to win. I want you to. Sometimes in our darkest moments, we don't feel like we're worth it. Sometimes in our darkest moments, we don't feel like anybody sees us. Sometimes in our darkest moments, we think that if we just went away, everything will get better. Well, I'm here to tell you, we need you. We believe in you. You belong here. And if you haven't seen the miracles of life yet, it's because they are ahead of you. Your greatest days are coming. I promise you, it gets better and it gets better. And yes, you're going to find out some news about the people who you love the most. Yes, it's going to tear you apart, but allow it to rip a layer of skin, a layer of dead thinking, a layer of stagnant mindset. Allow it just like a snake to rip off, because why are you walking around with old skin anyway? Allow it to shed the skin off of your skin, so therefore you can come into this new, this improved being. Because a part of us does have to die. A part of us, there's anytime we're working to get to have expansion in our life, a part of us has to die. Because there's somebody that said you can't be your old self and your new self at the same time. So if you used to go to the club and now you're trying to be in the church, I'm not saying you can't go to the club and go to the church, but you can't go to the club and go to the church. It's like you can't do one of the, you gotta choose one or the other. But that's the good thing about that in this aspect, is to learn that it's not you that has to die. Maybe it's a mindset that has to die. Maybe it's a certain way of thinking. Maybe it's that doubt that has to die. Maybe it's looking in the mirror and seeing something that's incomplete. Maybe it's maybe your emotions of anger need to die off. Maybe your emotions of frustrations need to die off. There is something that has to die. It's a part of the evolution of life. But when I tell you it's not you, I mean it. It's not you. So you got the nail on the head. Yes, something has to go, right? Because we get to that point where we find out all these things in life. We feel all the pressures in life. We feel that nothing's ever going to get better. So it's like something has to go. You're right. Something does have to go, but it's not you. It's not you. You belong here. You were created for a purpose, on purpose. And if you're feeling different, if you feel like you don't fit in, and if you feel like you're always an outcast or a unicorn, you were different before you came here. The purpose that's in your heart was different before you even came here. So imagine how powerful you are, that you were different even before you were even a human. Your whole existence is a statement. Your whole existence is a billboard. It needs to be seen. It needs to help people move forward. It needs to inform people. It needs to alert people. It needs to open people up. And I know it's not going to be easy. People aren't easy. People aren't easy. For me, what I go through, people always ask me about pronouns, right? What's your pronouns, Tess? You go by pronouns? Because I can't really put my finger on it. What's going on over there? And, thankfully, I've worked on myself so much to where it doesn't matter what people call me at this point, because I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me today and you'll just see it, right? Um, But I can only imagine for people who struggle with all these different things internally. And then you walk out in the world and people step on those things and they don't even know that they're stepping on these landmines inside of you. And every day you're trying to hold your head up high and then boom, somebody steps on the landmine, not even knowing. And you keep walking around and boom, somebody says something else. So by the end of the day or by the end of the week, you just so heavy. You don't exploded so much. Because even for me, people ask me, like, what's your pronouns? Or, do you go by this? Do you go by that? And even today, I've been browsing the bathroom today, and it's not even like I even have to try anything. I was literally in the women's bathroom, and I'm washing my hands, and I got like a haircut going on too. So let me show y'all my haircut real quick. I don't know if you can see that. Shout out to the people listening. Check out the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. You know what I mean? Got a little razzle dazzle, but I got a haircut in the back. I got like a nice haircut, like nice design. Finally got my life together. I've been looking rough for 2 weeks. It's crazy when you finally get your life together. People see you, but then they may not see you correctly. In my case, so I'm standing in the women's restroom, my friends. Wash my hands up, boom, boom, boom. About to do some yoga. Da-da-da. Boom, washing my hands. Literally, this lady walks in. Oh, I'm sorry, I walked in the wrong restroom. And I didn't even know what to say because it's just like, once again, landmine. It's something that I don't necessarily struggle, but it's like it's always constantly being brought up, even if I'm not trying to be this or that. It's always it's this constant thing that keeps coming up and keep coming up. So that's what I'm here to tell you. Like, no matter what you're dealing with, it's gonna come up often. Whatever that thing that you're battling with, whatever that thing that's uncomfortable, is going to come up. And sometimes in life, you're going to feel like you are being tested, and you're going to feel like you're getting poked around, and you're going to feel like it's just like you're getting bullied by life itself, right? You're going to feel like you're going to be looking at the divine or the creator like, really? Well, how is this even happening? Because there's something greater in you. There's something bigger in you. I feel like one of the reasons why we have shadows, right? I think a cool thing about the shadow work, in psychology, there's this whole an entire ideology about shadow work, but I want to give a spin to it. Sometimes I feel like, even with me right now, you can see my shadow on behind me. And so, just like when you stand in the sun and you look on the pavement, you can see a shadow. I feel like there is a bigger version of us, my friends. There is more for us, my friends. We are bigger than just these human bodies. And our shadows remind us of that. You ever stood somewhere, your shadow's like really tall or really small, depending on the angle? Shout out to the geometry and all the math folks. Y'all can throw in all the little, the math terms on why that happens. But really, when you stand somewhere and then the sun hits you and your shadow was bigger than you. I feel like that's who we need to become. We need to become what's bigger than us, not being just contained in this human body and in this human mind. But how can we expand our existence? How can we see things past what they sound like? Because even though the lady walked in the bathroom was like, "Oh, excuse me, I don't know what bathroom this is now because you're in here." I heard just confusion instead of feeling like she was attacking me. So I feel the more that we can work on, one, realizing that we belong here. Two, realizing that we're not getting bullied by life. Three, realizing that we are part of something way bigger. There's a bigger mindset out there for you. There's more success, there's more growth, but it will only happen once you become bigger within. So therefore you can see the greatness and the vastness around you. Because there is no way that you were created to suffer. There was no way for you to feel like you were supposed to be depressed and that you were less than, and that everybody has the better end of the stick. There is no way you were created for just that. You were created for something so much bigger. You have so much potential within you. I can feel it just by you even listening to this. You even watching this, I can feel your potential. So if you're struggling, or if you know anybody that's struggling with thoughts of taking their own life, I'm here to tell you there's more for you. I need you here. I want you here. I see you. I see you. I feel you. I feel your pain. I know how it feels to feel like you're a ghost. I know how it feels to feel like you don't belong anywhere. I know how it feels to feel like you got overlooked. Isn't that a bad feeling? You go out and everybody else is getting acknowledged except for you. But see, that's what I want us to start thinking about. Instead of us seeing, I think it's important for us to have awareness on the pain and have awareness on how we feel about being overlooked and feeling like we don't belong. I think that's a good thing to have. But can we also have a bigger awareness? So that's that shadow I was talking about, the bigger, the vast awareness of, okay, if I don't belong in this situation here, or if I don't feel, if I'm constantly getting overlooked around these people, there must be something more for me. There has to be something more. Instead of us looking at all these situations like, we're getting bullied and life is just constantly proving to us that we shouldn't be here. Maybe life is trying to give us hints that we're getting close to what's going to be the transformation in our life. Maybe we're being isolated. Maybe we're being overlooked. So therefore we can be celebrated in a completely different environment. Maybe we're around people, maybe we're in situations that we think are good right now, but in the grand scheme of things, won't necessarily help us. You've seen cartoons, you've seen all the things where all of a sudden a character will have this great vision, like, I'm going to do this today. And then boom, you see a roadblock, or boom, an issue. Just like you and I, we can have these plans, we can have all these things that we want to do. But then life throws us roadblocks. Life let us go through this pain, this embarrassment. If we can work to understand and feel life and experience life in a different realm other than just this, oh, this happened, I feel this happened, I feel this. If we can create more space between our thoughts, more love in our hearts, I think we'll find the essence of what it truly means to be human. Because being human isn't just about going to work and having a family and going to church or whatever you do, go playing golf. That's not what being human is just about. There's a bigger meaning. There's something way deeper. And I feel like once we can tap into that deep, that bigger, and that vast meaning of our lives, suicide won't win. Suicide will have no standing. Suicide will have no power. Suicide will have no dominion. Suicide will have no say, because we are a part of something greater and something bigger. My friends, I hope this message connects to your heart. I hope this message connects to your soul. Because the more that you understand who you are, why you are, and what you are, you realize you're a part of something that has always been inside of you, which is greatness, which is peace, which is harmony, which is balance, which is trust, which is love. I don't want you to take your own life. I know you don't want to take your own life. So I want you to check in on yourself more. Address your feelings. Don't leave it to anybody else to address your feelings. Check in on the people who you think are strong and who you think you don't have to trust. Check on your strong friends. And 3, I want you to listen. Listen way more. Listen way more than you speak sometimes, just so we can hear the pain. We can hear the gaps. We can hear what people aren't saying. Because the more that we can show up for ourselves, we'll be able to show up for other people. The more that we realize that we belong here, we can show people that they belong here. Suicide is not just an issue with the person. Suicide is something that's a reflection of our society as a whole. So it takes each and everybody watching this right now to help suicide end. Remember, you belong here. You matter. You have purpose. We need you. Don't give up. Because guess what? When you show up, the divine will show out. The creator will make sure you get what's yours and everything that's attached to it. Everything. Okay? So keep your head up. I'm keeping mine up. Only if you keep your head up. We got to keep, if I see you keeping your head up, I'm going to keep my head up. Because guess what? You seeing me keep my head up, I know it's helping you keep yours up. So remember that just because I'm here inspiring you, I need that inspiration too. And everybody else does next to you. Okay? So quick recap. Check in on yourself, check in on your heart. You don't have to walk around acting like everything's okay all the time. It's okay to cry. I cry all the time. I cry all the time, almost every morning, y'all. For real, I'm going to do an episode about meditation that I want to go into depth on. But even just meditating, sometimes I'll just, in my meditation, I'll just come up and just in tears. But it's good to release. I think it's important to release. And the only way you can release is if you check in with yourself. And the more that you're able to release, you'll be able to check in with other people and help other people release, help other people do the because some of us are holding our breaths. Some of us feel like we're up in the water. Some of us feel like we're drowning. But the more that you're able to check in with yourself, check in with your heart, release if that's crying, release if that's screaming. Whatever it is, release it. It's not supposed to be balled up inside of you to where you feel like you're suffocating. Release it. Free yourself. Shed that skin. Embrace the new layer. And the third step is listen. Listen with the intent to understand. So the more that you're able to listen to yourself and understand, because sometimes we may use the wrong words, it'll help you listen to other people on the outside. So all the words that used to get to you and used to feel like you were getting attacked, they won't attack you so much because now you can hear what the person's truly trying to say or what they truly mean. So my friends, that's the end of this episode called You Belong Here. It's been another episode of the SOS Wellness Show. I'm your host, TES. I love you all so much. I need you all here. Till next time.